Hey, it's me, AP, aka Mr. Movie Cheer, and welcome back to another episode. And on this episode, I will be discussing the movie formats I will be collecting in 2025. It is a new year, fresh formats for me. Some formats I've never collected before are going to be collected this year, and I've already started collecting some. So it's going to be great just to go through some of these formats, some previous formats as well. I'm also looking into collecting as well, but we're going to get to that throughout this video. So first up, I want to discuss the previous formats I'll still be collecting this year in 2025, meaning, formats I've already collected before that I will be continuing collecting this year. Now, there is only one format that I've previously collected that has been a continuous format in the collection for the past couple of years, really, and that is DVD. I think it is a great format. I really do enjoy DVD still to this day. Even though I've upgraded my setup recently, DVD is still a big part of that. It's a big part of my collection. It's the biggest. What makes up the majority of my collection is currently DVD, and that won't change. There will be still movies I do pick up this year on DVD. I'm not against the format. If you look on this channel, a lot of the bigger videos on the channel that have many views are all related to DVDs because I enjoy the format. I think it's a great format still. Good quality, holds up. Great selection of movies, great selection of TV shows. It's got everything DVD, so it will be another format I will be still continuing to collect this year in 2025. So, which new format will I be collecting in 2025? Well, there are two new formats for me, and that is Blu-ray and 4K. Yes, I am super late to the party with both of these formats. I know Blu-ray's been out for a long time. 4K's been around for quite a few years now as well. But yeah, I never got into Blu-ray when it came out. I was happy with DVD. It did me, every movie I could get, every movie I wanted I already have, and any movie I wanted to get was available on DVD. And I think for me, maybe at the time I just didn't really understand the difference in quality. So I suppose lack of knowledge a lot of it at the time, but just lack of wanting also to collect another format after kind of doing the VHS to DVD. Didn't really want to do the whole DVD to Blu-ray again. So yeah, really late in the bandwagon. But for me, I wanted to get into these formats now because I think it's just wanting to improve my movie watching experience more than anything else. I enjoy watching movies at home, and recently I've been doing up the movie room, and I thought, you know what, I don't really enjoy going to the cinema as much as I used to years ago. I've never been a massive cinema guy. And I thought, you know what, I really do enjoy. I've always enjoyed watching movies at home, and I thought, you know what, I want to just for some movies, I want to get the best available quality. And this is something I've always said, for me, it's always about the movie. And I still stand by that for certain movies. But certain movies, then, really special movies, I do want to experience that sort of like the cinema like experience at home. And that's a big thing for me why I've decided now to get into the Blu-ray and the 4K game. So yeah, 4K and Blu-ray. I started at the back end of 2024 in about December time, but this year, I've started collecting now Blu-rays and 4Ks very early on in my collecting journey for both of these formats. And it's not going to be a format I'm going to be collecting every single movie, and I won't be getting upgrading every single movie from the DVD collection. There's just certain ones I do want to upgrade to, but not every single movie. And I'm quite happy with the DVD on certain things. It's only certain movies that I want to go for Blu-ray, and then the criteria for my 4Ks is going to be really special movies. It's got to be something really worthy of that 4K experience for me. But yeah, a lot of it is just due to the fact I enjoy. I'm very much an introvert. I like spending time watching movies at home. I enjoy it. It's my pleasure. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to treat myself and, enjoy the best quality movie watching experience at home I can on some of my favourite movies, basically. That's where it comes down to for collecting these two new formats for me personally. So, what are some movie formats I may dip my toe into this year? Well, I've been thinking about this, and I've probably mentioned this a few times, but I want to decorate this room a bit more. It's very much, there's blank walls behind me. I like having a bit of decorations, and I've been doing it more so recently because I spend more time in this room because I work from home more now. But for me, two formats that have interested me in going back to purely for decorative reasons, and I say this because I just don't think I'd want to get into getting the technology, because just getting hold of it is probably expensive, and setting it up is, and space wise, I just don't have the room for it. So that'll be VHS and Laserdisc. I think VHS, some cases as a decorative piece now, look really cool. I like the look of VHS. I don't think I'd want a full shelf of VHS, and this is nothing against anyone who collects either of these formats. I think it's really personal to yourself what formats you want to collect. I like the look of VHS, but I wouldn't want a whole shelf. I've been there, done that. I would like a select few, but again, I don't even think I'd get a VHS player now. I think it for me would just have a few on display, some of my favourites, some of the really cool looking artwork on them. And the same goes for Laserdisc, because I know there's some really cool looking Laserdisc. Just going to my buddy Ben, aka Rider Rated 18, he does a lot of Laserdisc videos on his Instagram, and he's got a great collection of Laserdiscs, and it is just cool seeing some of them, the case covers of them, they look brilliant, and some of them are very unique as well. So I think some of them, I always think this like records as well, they just look great display pieces. You have one of them on the wall as an artwork piece. I think it looks really smart. So I think for them, Laserdisc and VHS, I'm tempted to dip my toe in purely for decorating purposes, and just having a few on display, some of my favourites. But it would be a small number if I do dip my toe into that end. But I see him. I went to I go to a local town near me, and for years, it's weird. For years, I never saw any VHS, and I'd see people on YouTube, saying they collect VHS in the charity shops and stuff like that. And I'm like, never do I see them. And then probably the last year, I've seen a lot more. But I went to a place, like I said, a nearby town to me, and they had absolutely just boxfuls of VHS, and they were like £1 each. Movies, pretty movies. Honestly, if you were collecting VHS, you could just buy the whole box. It was just like, I don't know whether they were working, what the quality was, but they looked, there's some decent ones in there. I was looking for some particular ones that I didn't manage to find, but that's the fun of the hunt, isn't it? But it was just honestly really cool just to see all the VHS again. It was just like, it's weird. It's like tapping into like a memory in your brain, like a childhood memory. You remember the VHS, and I think that's why another reason why I'd like to go into getting a few decorative pieces, especially the VHS, because I think it's sometimes just nice memories, and it kind of just like sometimes I find certain objects sometimes unlock a certain memory, and I kind of like that. It gives you that nostalgia trip when it's very nice. So yeah, that is another reason why. But yeah, they're the two of the formats I'm thinking about definitely this year. So let's just do a quick roundup of things. So what am I still collecting? I'm still collecting DVD in 2025. I am going to be, I've started collecting Blu-rays and 4Ks. I'm really pumped about collecting both of them formats, and interested to see how that collection builds throughout the years, and just see what micro collections I make of both Blu-ray and what 4Ks I end up getting, because I know it's not going to be, I'm never going to have a massive 4K collection, but to see which movies I end up getting, I've got movies in my head already that I want to get on 4K, but I'm just happy being patient and happy finding them when I find them. And again, as I say, VHS and Laserdisc, I'm looking forward to, if I do for decorative purposes, find some of those pieces that I want to add to the movie rooms to just make it look a bit cooler, and just, things that I'm actually passionate about as well. I will definitely pick up those. But yeah, it's really interesting, and I'm looking forward to collecting all these different formats in 2025, and it'd just be interesting to see how it goes, over the next 12 months, to see what I do end up picking up in the end, whether there's something else I don't even see coming, a different format I've never even discussed maybe. But yeah, I'm really happy with the plan of action as it is currently. If you enjoyed this episode today, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel as well, and leave a comment below with all of your thoughts on this video topic. What are some of the movie formats you will be collecting this year in 2025? Are you maybe getting rid of a certain format, and maybe you're stopping collecting a certain format this year, or you're focusing on one particular format for a particular collection? Let me know all of your thoughts on this topic. I think it's a really interesting one to see what other people are collecting. Maybe you're not collecting anything, and you're just focusing on maybe getting rid of parts of your collection this year, which is totally fine, and I understand that as well. So I think there's loads of different variables here, which is interesting when people talk about the movie collections, and I think it's really I like it because it's a fun little game to me. You're building this little collection, you're finding things that you really want, and I think it's good when you do the micro collections as well. When you're looking at I want to create this certain collection, or I only want to collect this type of movies on this format. Makes it more interesting, gamifies it a bit more. Really, really cool. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video today, ladies and gents. Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer, and as always, I will see you next time.